Hey everyone, it's me Brina, I'm back and I'm doing a series of art making videos where basically I show you how I make the artwork for my tracks and my covers and the artwork I make just for fun, maybe at some point as well. But today I'm going to start with the artwork I made for the track Surfing on a Brainwave, which as you can see is pretty complicated. And I've made sure that I don't look at the layers so that I can't cheat and think, oh yeah, I did this way. No, I'm going to do it just from that image and try and get as close as I can. I've created this canvas at a slightly small, well actually quite a lot smaller size than this one, just because otherwise it can be quite slow to make stuff. But without any further ado, I'm going to get started. So it looks like the background I did for this was black, so first thing I need to do is create a layer before I forget. I do forget. And I'm just going to use the bucket fill tool for that because it's the easiest way of doing it. And then I use the spark brush to make those patterns. So it's another layer for that. See if I can find the brush. There it is. The trick is trying to get it at the right size. Let's see. That's kind of too big and it's wrong anyway. And of course that's way too small. This is always the issue I have. It's either too big or it's too small. Can never quite get it right. She says getting it right. So let's see if I can trace these lines nice and close. I'm trying to get it to look as much like the original as possible. This is actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. That's nice. It's funny actually because it's not taking me all that long to do this, despite that I'm pretty sure the original artwork, if I can get this line right, took me a couple of days to do, which is quite unusual for me. I usually just sort of get an idea and make it straight away, but this one just wasn't like that, which I suppose is just because it's very different to what I usually do. But I think that's that layer about done, and it looks like I used a bit of a yellow glow here and sort of tracing of that. I think that might be on the layer underneath. Let's see if I can colour pick that, because sanity. Okay, it's not letting me do that, so let's do it the old-fashioned way, if I can pick the right layer. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's pretty close. Let's check the sizing of that now. Actually, that's about right as well. That's quite nice. I might make that a bit smaller. And I'm just going to trace on these. Looking at the colours, I'm probably going to have to lower the opacity of this a bit. Because it does actually look quite a lot lighter in that picture than it's looking when I'm airbrushing this in. But then again, that might be an illusion because there are a lot of other colours in this. Let's just do that. That looks okay. No, I'm pretty sure I must have lowered the opacity there. Oh, I've been doing this on the wrong layer. That's also way too easy to do. Yeah, you see, now it looks more like that one. Right. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Oh well. Right. It doesn't really matter, because you can just hit the undo key and then do it all again. It is slightly annoying if you do something really complicated and impressive on the wrong layer, though. I always tell myself, look at the layer before you start doing the things. What do? I can tell you, I never do that. Again, judging by the colours of this orange around the edge of the sparks, you can probably see it here. If you look closely, it's quite faint. that's much more intense on that picture, so I think I might have airbrushed that as well. So I'm going to colour pick that. That's not the right colour, that's quite red in that picture. Yeah, I'm just going to have to do that manually as well. And I'm going to create another layer for that. Let's see if I got the colour about right. Yeah, that looks good actually. It looks like I've only done those on the larger ones as well, which saves me a job. Because trying to do it on every single one of these little ones takes a long time. I know that from experience. You'll see that in another video of mine actually, which I might do a time lapse for or something, because watching me do that for 10 hours or however long it's going to take isn't going to be the most fun. And that's about that. So I've got some red edging on this as well. So I'm going to do that next. Move that up to the top. I'm probably going to have to make this a bit bigger. It's actually easiest to do this with the straight line tool. Little hack for you there. Although that doesn't look big enough. Make that a bit bigger. And I'm going to lower the opacity of that, I think. Yeah, that looks better. And it actually looks like, if you look really closely at this one, the glow on this box around here is bigger than it is here. So I think I'm going to need another layer for that. And I can actually colour pick the colour from the first layer, so that's easier, if I can select the tool, that is. And then I'm going to have to make the airbrush a lot bigger, not that big, and probably not that big either. Let's see, bigger than that. That's more like it. And again, that's only done on the bigger sparks. And the reason that the sparks, like the bigger ones, you can see they aren't quite in the same places, and that's just because the brush itself is slightly randomised, so it's never going to look quite the same, which is actually quite a cool feature. Because then if you don't like the way it looks at one particular point, you can just sort of like erase the line, do it again, and it will look quite different. So that's something I quite like. And I'm just going to put a bit there because I can, and I forgot that bit. It looks like we're kind of getting there now, but there's some quite complex texturing on this. Let's see if I can remember how I did that. Pretty sure I do. I think I actually did the first one in black, and layer underneath, and I'm pretty sure I used this brush, which is the one I actually use quite a lot for texturing. So I'm just gonna put that across all of this, and that's made no discernible difference at all. But there's some blue in this as well, which I believe is on another texture layer. So let's add that. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I know what brush I used for that. I think it was this one. And now I have to try and find the colour. It's quite a light looking blue. Okay, so not quite like that. Maybe. Oh, that's orange. Something like that. Okay, I love it. I think it must have been slightly darker blue. Let's try that. Opacity, that looks about right. I think I probably just did this very randomly. Maybe like that. texture of the black layer is actually coming through here as well, which I thought is what would happen, but I don't think that's it. Bring the light out a bit more. It is quite subtle, but when you zoom in on it, I'll show you. If I zoom in the right way, it was confused, I have no idea why. This all goes a bit pixelated, but you can try and lower the size of the brush. I'll point that in a minute. You can sort of see the overlapping here in the textures, and it gives this really interesting, almost canvas-like effect. And that's something you could consider when you're doing your art if you like it. It's something I actually did one time, completely by accident. And I think I'm likely to load the opacity of the first glow layer and show you that it's coming out really strong. Oh, that looks better. And really... Oh, no way. Hang on, that's not that. There's some red on here as well, isn't there? How did I not notice that? And that's probably about there in the layer stack. And I think it's probably, again, the same red. I try and limit the number of colours I use so it doesn't end up being too busy in a picture. Okay, it must have been a dark red actually. But it can sometimes look quite messy if you use lots of different colours, everywhere. It can actually look not very nice doing that. But this is actually quite an odd mix of colours. It's basically blue, red and yellow, and that's not something I'd usually do at all. Sometimes it's good to challenge yourself and do something different, and you never know, you might end up with something that looks really cool. And this time, I think that probably is about that. So, I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you're a graphic designer, I hope this has been a helpful how-to for you, if that's what you're looking for. And I will see you next time. Have a good one till then.